Hello, I'm Peter Byers, and I'm often known as the Fat Man, and I visit places. And I'm delighted that you're joining me on this visit. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you come to lots more. Today, the Fat Man visits Cliveden, a beautiful country house in the Berkshire countryside. I believe that visiting places, quite a significant portion of the enjoyment is preparing for the visits, knowing what you're going to do, knowing how you're going to behave when you get there and all the rest of it. Well, I have to tell you at Cliveden is an awe-inspiring place, and you might be a bit frightened of it, but don't worry, I'll be there to look after you. Now, first of all, I better tell you about dress. If you're thinking of joining me in jeans and trainers, think again. Now, my producer said, now you can get out of this introduction, Peter, by saying I'll have to leave you now because I'm going to put a tie on. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to put a tie on for this brief visit to Cliveden because I'm going to dress smart casual. I've got shirt, it's clean, it fits me, it doesn't show my belly off too badly. I've got decent trousers, decent shoes on. If I go into the dining rooms at Cliveden, then I will change. I will put a tie and a proper shirt and a jacket on and do it proper, because that's how things should be at Cliveden. So that little bit of preparation. Now, for this short visit, I'll show you how to behave as you arrive. We'll go up the wonderful drive and see the Fountain of Love and all this, that and the other. And you'll think I'm bonkers as we're going up the drive, but I don't care. You'll enjoy it. We'll probably have a bit of a sail on the Susie Ann on the Thames, and we might just have some food, and we might even, if we're really lucky, persuade the chef de cuisine to talk to us. He's a Frenchman. He's got a Michelin star, which makes him a bit good, but I tend to go for ordinary food. And one of the things I have entertainment with when I go visiting is when I say, please could I have some bangers and mash, burnt bangers and some mash and maybe some gravy. And they say, oh, no, sir, it's not on the menu. And I think, you silly old people, you must have bangers because you do breakfasts. You absolutely must have potatoes. And if you're such good chefs you can't make gravy, then I don't think I want to be going to your place anyway. So I'd like to just talk to a Michelin-starred chef, if he's got the time to talk to us, and say, tell me what your view is when somebody comes in and says, look, I've got the time to wait, I've got the money to pay for it, would you please cook me this even though it's not on your menu? Now, if we can do that, and we can talk to the chef de cuisine, Daniel Galmish, then that's good. We shall talk to him and you'll see what he says. So you'll hear my viewpoint and a Michelin-starred chef's viewpoint. So that's it. Now, the next time you see me, I shall be approaching Cliveden in my motor car and taking you with me and making you feel happy and comfortable and enjoying it. The first thing you see is the famous Fountain of Love.
Now, there's no water switched on at the moment. We must be too early for it. But there's water comes out of various orifices on the fountain there. But you'll notice there is a jug up the top. When I first came here, water came out of that jug, and when I'm wealthy, I'm going to give the National Trust some money to let them make the jug work again. Now, at this point, I put it into bottom gear. I take my seatbelt off. I take my feet off the pedals. And I let it wander up. I open the windows. Now, this is the stage where I chuck my inhibitions out of the window, and this road is littered with inhibitions. Back in the olden days when horse-drawn coaches came up here, the coachman wouldn't give the command walk trot or gallop on, it would be walk. And you should respect the house and its drive and travel at 5 miles an hour like what it says on the speed limit sign. It ain't a NCP car park in the front of the house. You let them open the door, you let them park the car, and you've arrived at Cliveden.
Good morning.
Good morning, young man.
How are you today?
Oh, I shall be better when I get indoors.
The first room you see at Cliveden is the Great Hall. On this occasion we're only showing you still photographs, but in the real thing later on we'll show you a lot more and tell you a lot more. This is the place where you can sit and have a drink waiting for your lunch, sit and talk to your colleagues whilst you wait your rooms being ready. Now at one end there is the spectacular fireplace. It really it amazes me every time I see it. And at the other end is the staircase that leads up to the west wing terrace and bedrooms. And I'm now on my way up the spectacular staircase at Cliveden, heading up to the west wing terrace. As I walk up, every time I walk up these stairs, I can't help but admire the fantastic carvings done by a guy called W.S. Frith. They were designed by somebody called Pearson. We haven't yet worked out whether it was the dad or the son that did the designing, but it was Pearson. The whole experience of walking up these stairs is quite a spectacular one. Isn't this a wonderful view? The parterre at Cliveden. I think it means formal garden, but somebody will tell me I've got it wrong. You can see a gardener down there trimming the hedge, the privet hedge. See people enjoying it. You can see a statue at the end of the parterre in the circle, and that's got a story of its own. And over on the hill you can see the statue of the Duke of Sutherland, and I'll tell you a story about that and the Fountain of Love at some stage. But isn't it stunning? We got some food coming. I can hear it behind me. Pity you can't share it. Good morning, young man. We haven't met before, have we?
No, I don't think so.
Where you come from?
I come from Denmark.
Good, I see. Good. I'm pleased you did that, because I couldn't see the trees outside. What is this that you bought me, do you think? You think those... Have you seen those before?
No, not really.
Well, I didn't think they were sort of unique to England, but they're called goujons. Of chicken, which means thin strips of chicken. These aren't thin strips. These are too bloody thick by half. So they should be nice parallel-sided thin strips. And they dip them in batter. Well, they dip them first of all in some egg and then in some batter. And 2 types of batter. Tempura, which is beautiful and light. Okay. Made with rice flour. They don't take the lumps out of the batter. If there's lumps in the rice, it comes through in the batter and it makes it good. Oh, okay. The other way is to use wheat, that's corn flour. And oh dear, that's good for cod in chips, cod and chips from a chip shop. It's not much cod for goujons, but a lot of people don't know that, and they'll do goujons. But anyway, I've taught you all about goujons, and I've taught you all about goujons, and I'm going to eat the thundering things, even though they're not goujons. So thank you very much, young man.
You're welcome, sir.
We're just waiting while Keith unties the boat. It won't go very far if it's still tied up. And we're going out into the Thames. We're going to turn to travel east along the Thames towards London, towards Boulter's Lock. We're not going through Boulter's Lock because we ain't got the time. Now, it's ages since I've been on here, and the last time I came on here it was Andrew Adams, the old boatman to Cliveden. I know all about the boat, but I've forgotten.
Okay.
When was it built? Where was it built? What for? What is it?
Okay, it was built in 1910 approximately, and it was an admiral's pinnace, which used to take the admiral and also the sailors across the boat.
I think you slurred a word there. I would have said pinnace. Because that's how it's spelled, Pinnace. Sorry, I shouldn't interrupt you.
Or a jolly boat.
Yes, right, yes.
Or a liberty boat,
yes.
If you're American.
Just before we miss it, that Spring Cottage over there, one of the notable visitors there was Queen Victoria. She came to visit and she spent the day and night in Spring Cottage. It's now available at exorbitant prices to rent from Cliveden. Sorry about that, I mustn't interrupt you, must I?
No.
Coming up behind us is what I somewhat disparagingly call a gin palace, and he's coming hurtling past us. He's in a hurry to get somewhere. My view is that if you're on the water, the world should pass slowly, and to go hurtling along at 400 mile an hour seems...
4.9 to be exact, 8 kilometres. Yeah.
What are we doing, you think?
We're doing approximately the right speed.
and that man, by that token, is exceeding the speed limit, but...
They always do.
Yes, quite. We're going past an island on this side, but I've had one or two picnics on this one.
Yeah, well, the next one to it actually is a sanctuary.
Right.
So you can't actually go on that particular island. These islands here are actually owned or looked after by Cliveden. They're part of the Cliveden estate. The other ones belong to the National Trust.
Yeah.
And you can actually moor up on those and have barbecues and whatever else that you like to do on there.
Yeah.
This one here, though, as I said, is a sanctuary, so you're not allowed to moor up
Absolutely.
here. And you get some wonderful wildlife around here. There's a cormorant,
branch sticking out, cormorant sitting on the branch. Oh, there, look, yes, beautiful shot.
The boat used to be coal-fired in those days.
Yes.
And in 1936 it was converted to diesel engine, and it was rebuilt again by a very good company in Henley, which specialised in these type of boats in 1986, and they put in a nice big BMW diesel engine.
There's a technical expression for what's known now. It's giving it some welly.